Good morning, West Island. I'd appreciate your quiet and attention, please. If you don't recognize that song, that is the late, great David Bowie, who sadly died yesterday, a legend in his own right. The song Heroes. Heroes being quite apt because we have before us 8 heroes in front of us. Give them a round of applause. Apologies, Miss Foxcroft. I meant 9 heroes. Thank you very much. So, moving on, I would like to first of all show, as you may well be aware, that in the bulletin, your parents have had emails, and you've had emails as well, regarding the new credits system. As a school, we really want to value your hard work, your effort, and everything you do in and out of the classroom, and by in doing so, whether it's in lessons, out of lessons, in CAS, during Dynasty, as a tutee, everything you do, we want to recognise that extra mile you put in. So hence, we have created the credits system. And as you can see, we have a creditometer, and at the moment, I am actually very, very impressed with, where are they? Yuan. You are in the lead so far. It is West Island. It is a live feed. So every day you will see it's going up and down. And as we have here before us, the latest credit awarded by Mr. Head to Anthea's son. Well done, Anthea, and so on. However, you're probably asking the question, West Island. A really important question is, how many credits does actually Ming need to get to try and beat Yuan? Is it girls or boys? Is it your communication skills that are better than your thinking skills? Is it year 13s who are actually getting more credits than year 7? How on earth am I going to know all this information? How do I do that? I just press the More button underneath, again, a live feed, and it will show you. Currently, if we hover over, girls, you have slightly more credits than the boys, and also if we scroll down a little bit more, VJ, if you can go down a little bit more. By year group, year 7 in the lead, we're getting the more credits, most credits. Okay, thank you very much, West Island. Year 11s, sort yourselves out. Communication skills are fantastic. Let's try and work on those research skills, West Island. So, moving on, thank you very much. That's a credit system. Get those credits in, West Island. So moving on to another opportunity for you to shine, I'd like to introduce to you Maddie and Erica to talk about Star Search.
Hi, the Circle on the Water Committee is relaunching Star Search 2016 this term. For those of you who don't know, Star Search is a talent showcase for the performing arts, and as usual, we have dance and music categories. So whether you're with your friends or by yourself, you can sing, play an instrument, play in a band, whatever you want. This year, we have 3 new categories: composition, films, and film pictures. Films can be done in any genre and can be done in groups, and they can be anything from stop motion to live action, as long as they're under 5 minutes long. Film pictures are simpler, and all you have to do for that is write an idea for a film under 500 words. These 3 aspects of Star Search will be judged in part by you guys.
We'd like everyone to try their hand at one or more categories, and once we receive your applications, we will host closed auditions followed by live heats, which will then end with a final showcase for the winners. A Google form will be live at lunchtime, and the link will be in the notices tomorrow morning. We will state further details, including dates and information about teachers being involved, in an email that will be sent around to everybody. Thank you, and we look forward to applications.
Good morning, everybody. Most of this assembly will be given over to the candidates for head student. But I need to talk to you just before that about another aspect of leadership which is important at West Island. As a leader of West Island, lots of things happen in this school, but I also have the responsibility, and rightly so, as do all the teachers in this school, for your safety. So one of the things I just want to go back over is something that we haven't looked at for a little while, which we do need to have a practice, and we will be having a practice tomorrow. So it's going to be very important that you listen to this part of the assembly and really take it in, because there are a few changes. Now, you'll be aware that we have a fire drill, and I'm not talking about that, but the other emergency procedure that we have as a school is something called a lockdown. Now, those of you who've come up from Kennedy School into Year 7 will know probably how it worked there or in your other primary schools. And those of you who've been in the school for a while will remember that we've had lockdown practices in the past. But there are lots of new people here too. And I feel a little bit like the person on the aeroplane who always says to you, you may think you know this safety requirements, but please listen. So I do want to talk a little bit about lockdown. First of all, why do we have to have something called a lockdown, and what is it? Well, first of all, a lockdown is a procedure whereby we make sure that we're all in a safe area and we actually lock ourselves into that area. I'll talk a bit more about that in a minute. Why do we need one? Well, Hong Kong is an incredibly safe place. We're very lucky to live in a city which is so safe. But we also do need to be prepared just in case. Always, in a big community like ours, we need to always have a just-in-case scenario. So we have a lockdown just in case one day we had somebody in the school, maybe come into the school, that I decide perhaps has wrong intentions to the school and I think is a danger. Now that would be, I think it's highly unlikely, but we do need to have a practice just in case, because you never know what can happen in life. So it's important we have a structure for that. When will it happen? Well, first of all, if it's a practice, you will always be told if it's a test or if it's a practice run, right? You will always be told ahead of time, so we have a practice, we get used to having a practice. But if you haven't been told, then you know it's a real event. Right? So if you've not been told, you know it's a real event. So we will be having a practice tomorrow, all right, during period 2. So we need to really listen. Listen, please. Listen. Never mind what you've got tomorrow. Thank you. So what's the signal for a lockdown? Next one. You will hear on the PA system, so there's a PA system right through the school that we've tested lots of times. You'll hear a piece of classical music. We only use the PA system when we're having a lockdown. So if you hear a piece of classical music coming onto the PA system, that's the signal we're going into a lockdown. So what happens? Okay. Now, during lesson time, it's very simple because your teacher will know what to do. So it's pretty easy for you to just listen to what your teacher says. The first thing is, as soon as you hear that music, you must be absolutely silent. Absolutely silent. Your teacher will then have a quick look outside the classroom to see if there are people with visitors' badges on, or other teachers who aren't in the classroom, or maybe somebody who has gone out of the class for some reason, a student, and they need to come into the classroom. So they will then gather everybody and they will lock the door. They'll close the blinds, they'll turn off the lights, they'll turn off the aircon, they'll unplug phones. Now you already know that all your phones should be on silent anyway, but on no account are phones to be used, on no account are any phones ever to be used. The idea is that you will give anybody who came into the school the impression there was nobody in that classroom, right? So that they just carry on walking. So if we did have somebody that I thought, and I make the decision, remember, or a VP makes a decision, then we want to try to ensure that we're safe, but that nobody actually knows we're in that classroom. And the PA system will be used for instructions. You'd never get a message on your phone. And of course, you have to be careful about messages, don't you? Because they could be from not who you think they're from. So we don't use our phones at all. Your teacher will gather you and sit against a wall so that you're not seen from outside. What happens if you're in other areas? Well, if you're in the sports hall, you would do exactly the same. You'd go silent and you'd walk calmly into the changing rooms. When everybody's in the changing rooms with your teacher, you'd lock the door. If you're in the arena, you'd go into the dance studio. If you're in the upper school area without a teacher, you'd lock both ends of the upper school area, all right, and carry on with the procedure. If you're out of class around the school, let's imagine you've gone out of class to go down to the office or go to the toilet, don't walk back to your classroom that you were having your lesson. Go to the nearest classroom. Go to the first classroom you can, right? If you're in the office, you'd stay in the office. So the important thing is to get into somewhere that can quickly be locked as quickly as possible. Right? So don't try and go back to your lesson, that's fine. If you're out of school, let's imagine on a cross country, or you're coming back from a trip, in the same way as when you hear the fire bell, if you hear the music, don't come into a school, you don't walk into danger. You keep out of the school. If you hear the fire drill, you don't come into the school, you shouldn't. If you're out of school for any reason, you go to the top of Victoria Road, to the entrance of the cemetery. You gather there and you wait for a teacher to come and get you after the music has stopped, okay? Just a very important point, don't lock corridor doors. Apart from the upper school area, the G&A area, don't lock corridor doors ever, because what we want is, if there was a serious situation, we want the police to be able to come into the school, don't we, and sort that out. And we also want the intruder to be able to get out, okay? Don't want to trap somebody who we don't want to be in the school. We don't want to trap them in the school. So the important thing is you're safe, right? You're taking it very seriously. That's good. So listen carefully. Okay, what happens after that? Well, in a practice, we won't wait very long, but we'll lift the lockdown pretty quickly. So you must keep silence until you hear the music again, and then you'll hear me or a vice principal come onto the tannoy, onto the PA system, and I will say, this is Miss Foxcroft, or if it's a VP, they would say, this is Mrs. Craig or Mr. Massarella, right? And you make sure you recognize the voice, of course. And I will give some instructions. So if there was more instructions I needed to give, I would give them. But usually I'll just say, this is Miss Foxcroft, all clear. At that point, the teacher will take a register. They'll make sure that anyone who is missing from the class is written down, so they'll have a check at their register, and anyone extra in the class who's come in, so that we can just check. And then if I say that lessons can resume, that's what will happen. Lessons will resume as normal. All right? So largely your teacher will look after you if there's a lockdown. But what we haven't practiced, and this is very challenging, is we've never actually practiced what would happen if somebody walked into the school that I thought might pose a risk, and it was during break times or lunchtime, which is much harder, isn't it? Much harder. So I just want to talk a bit about that. Wherever you are in school, you would move in silence. So if you hear the music, you would go absolutely silent. And you would move very quickly and sensibly, no running, to the nearest lockable area, wherever that was, with your friends. Might be teachers around, there might not. Make sure that you're looking after each other. Right? It's one of our values. And again, you would just lock yourself into that area until you heard the all clear. The difference is that at that point, If it was in that situation, I will come on the tannoy, I'll say all clear, and I'll tell you to go to your tutor bases to get registered. Right? So you've locked yourself in, you're safe, and then when the all clear comes, you just go to where you normally get registered, and you go to that area and you get yourself registered. And the same process then happens. We resume school. Last couple of points. After school, same thing. You go to any area nearest to you, lock yourself in, really just await instructions, but it would probably be go to this area to get registered, and I would tell you, or somebody else would tell you, where to register. So the important thing is, the most important thing is, the minute you hear classical music, if you're in lessons, you listen to your teacher, and you're in silence. If you're out of lessons, you walk quickly, but not running, to the nearest place you can to lock yourself in. You check around you that everybody else is safe. But of course, you never, ever invite anyone who doesn't have a visitor's badge in with you. All right? It's highly unlikely we'll ever have to use this in reality, but we need to be ready just in case. So, practice sessions. Your practice sessions, the first one, so I'm telling you these are going to happen, will be tomorrow during period 2. And then I'll remind you again before this, February the 1st during break. All right? So you know they're going to happen, but I will remind you on wisdom. So being sensible, big challenge for you, this second one, and we're going to evaluate. The last point I want to make is that when we do the lockdown, even when you're in classrooms, there will be a couple of vice principals or other people just walking around, just checking it worked. So if you hear someone outside, don't get all worried. It just means that somebody is just checking that it all worked sensibly. Okay? Remember, I will always tell you if there's a practice. Always. Thank you very much.
Good morning, West Island School. Last term, we invited Year 12 students to apply for the role of head student, and we were really pleased to receive 38 applications. It was a pleasure to read through so many excellent letters, and we learned so much about the contributions that these students had made to the school. So I want to tell you, just at this point, how proud we were of those 38 who actually applied in the first place. Well done to you. You will have noticed that I'm not using the phrase head boy or head girl at the moment. Previous teams of head students have told us that they are, in fact, a team, and that their duties and responsibilities ended up being quite balanced. So now, the 4 students that are chosen will be part of a head student team. Here, I introduce you our final 8 candidates who have already been through the process of writing the application letter. You may have seen their banners on Wisdom. The selection process continues today as we invite them to speak to you and address you, to let you know a little bit about them, who they are, what their values are, and what they could bring to the head student team. After assembly, you will have a chance to voice your opinion and state your preferences online, and more about that once they've finished. Tomorrow, head student candidates will be interviewed by the current head students and by Miss Foxcroft, and then, taking into account everything that we know, the letters, the interviews, your preferences, a team of 4 will be chosen, and we'll let you know the outcome of that as soon as possible. So I ask you now to listen really carefully, show them respect. Please don't be shouting out during their speech. Save your applause till the end. And listen carefully to the points that they're making, and think about those who you identify with and who say things that mean something to you. Okay. Zarius, over to you. Thank you.
Okay, our first candidate for today is Caitlin Newville. She'll fight for your voice to be heard.
Hello, West Island. If you don't already know me, my name is Caitlin Newville, and I would love to be one of your next head students. I've been at West Island since year 7, and believe me, I've sat through my share of head student speeches. But today, I'm lucky enough to be on the other side. So let me begin by saying hello from the other side. Since coming to West Island, I always thought I would love to be head student. And as Walt Disney says, all dreams can come true if you have the courage to pursue them. And today, I have the courage to make my dreams come true. During my time here, I have been fortunate enough to participate in a range of CAS opportunities that have made me who I am today. Also, I've been able to meet many other students who share the same passions that I have for a whole range of CAS activities. When I look back on my years at West Island, I see myself as Marlin, Nemo's dad. Marlin was cautious of the open seas in front of him, but willing to take on any challenge to reach his ultimate goal of finding Nemo. I was intimidated and even scared by others and wanted to prove that I was just as strong as them. Although I've been faced with many obstacles, I always found a way to overcome them and show those around me what I'm made of. Like Marlin leaving the reef in search of his son, I have always found courage in myself to overcome every obstacle that has come in my way, which is the key to success. I've turned these challenges into the victories that have allowed me to stand in front of you here today. If you elect me as one of your next head students, I believe that I have the ideas that I know will make you happy. For example, this year, the boys were introduced to new school shorts designed for them to wear throughout the year. While having the uniform in mind, the idea I would like to bring to you all would be to improve the girls' PE uniform. My idea is to design and produce brand new PE shorts or leggings. For this idea, I would start off by designing compact girls' sports leggings or even a new pair of shorts. The idea will definitely provide more options as some of you feel more comfortable in movable pants when participating in sporting events. Imagine next year you're wearing the coolest pair of West Island School sports leggings. The second idea that I would implement if I were elected your next head student would be to have more events such as open stages, art galleries, interdynasty cross-year sporting tournaments, and of course, I'm open to any idea that you guys can bring to me about improvements or changes. If we allow opportunities for the West Island School community to show off its talent and passion, I believe that all of you will be able to just keep swimming towards your dreams like Marlin. Allowing cross-year sporting tournaments to take place will give all of you, as students as well as teachers, the chance to get to know each other and, of course, use grit to come out victorious. If this were to become possible, it would give the Circle and the Water Committee more of a chance to put on amazing events. Doing this, the A-grade teams would be able to train younger years and, of course, let the CAS and Service Committee work with a wider range of younger students. I believe I will bring enthusiasm to any and all things I put myself up for. For those of you who know me well, know I'm hardworking, always happy, and not afraid to speak my mind. I'm a very adventurous person that embraces all the good things in life in and out of West Island. I've been involved in activities such as Wired, Blood Brothers, choir, SRDC, the tennis team, the basketball team, the athletics team, the football team, the service committee, the events council, and many others which have taught me to be committed. If I'm elected your next head student, I will put 100% of my efforts into doing my best to live up to any and all expectations that you have. Find your inner Nemo and express yourself, because with me as your next head student, I will support you in every way possible to help you along your journey through West Island. So remember, just keep swimming and vote for Katie because she'll be your matey, and together we can swim out from the reef to fight for your voice to be heard. Thank you.
Thank you, Caitlin. What an inspiring speech. Next up, we have Dustin Wong. He will run the distance for you.
Good morning, Ms. Foxcroft, teachers, students. My name is Dustin, and you're going to be hearing a lot of speeches today about why you should vote for us. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to do the same thing. Woo! Okay, so now that I have your attention, I'd like to begin with a quote. A very wise and intelligent individual once told me this. Unfortunately, R2-D2 was never great at English. My bad. But what he said was, the things you regret are the things you didn't do. West Island, we only get high school once. So since this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, I say, why not make the most of it? I've been a part of the cross-country squad for 3 years now, and captain for 1. I started off in year 9, when I was just one of those kids that loved gaming 24/7, and really only ever ran to catch a school bus. But I trained and became that strange Chinese kid with glasses who went from 18 minutes at cross-country to now 10. I'd call this dedication. Moreover, this is now my 2nd year leading the CAS committee. And I think this is what qualifies me to be your head student more than anybody else. I've had over 2 years of experience working with teachers, planning events from scratch, and most importantly, leading others. You can be sure that the same dedication I put into cross-country and every skill I've learned from the CAS committee will go into this role of head student. Speaking of this role, I have a number of ideas to increase opportunities available to all of you. Firstly, I plan to create a larger variety of interdynasty events, such as the school debate competition, where mixed year group teams can argue and express their opinions about current local and global issues. Imagine with me for a moment. The cheering, the tension, the arguments. But believe me, events like these can become reality. Secondly, I propose setting up a series of workshops and events where students can learn from each other, whether it be a new sport or even learning to beatbox. I mean, come on guys, you've all thought about beatboxing. These workshops will be held all year round, so everyone can learn something new without having to sign up for a class or a commitment. All you have to do is turn up. Everyone should have the chance to explore new things in an open and supportive environment, and that is what I want to provide. In addition, I want my term as head student to be about how your experience at WIS can be improved. So if there's anything at all, from new concepts to improving something about school, just run it by me. And whenever you see me by the cafeteria or in the corridors, and I will take your views into account. And that also means there's no need for online forums. I'll be here for you, all of you, in person. So remember, West Island, we only get high school once. All my ideas, unfortunately, aren't just around the corner. But let me be your head student, and I will run the distance for you to achieve all these goals and more. So you can get the best opportunities and experiences that you deserve. Once again, my name is Dustin Wong. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dustin, for that very wonderful speech. Up next, with a vision for a brighter future, I introduce Zara Tesfaye.
Good morning. I'm Zara Tesfaye. I'm passionate about music, science, and maths. Yes, maths. I want to be your next head student. I figure out what needs to be done, how to do it, and then I just do it! I envision a future where younger students are no longer afraid to approach older students, where age barriers are broken down. I envision a future where individuals are given the opportunities they need to succeed, where you can be yourself, focus on yourself, and learn and accomplish what you really want. I envision a future where everyone's needs, everyone's ideas, and everyone's voices are heard, no matter how big or small, a brighter future for every one of us. So, how are we going to achieve this? I'll introduce more inter-year activities. These include both sports competitions as well as simple sit-down and chat sessions. Students from different years will be able to interact more and learn from each other. With new opportunities to communicate with more experienced students, you'll be prepared for whatever you have to do. Age differences shouldn't matter. It's the ideas that do. There's lots of enthusiasm for sports activities and teams, but academics are often the subject of many concerns. In order to instill interest in academic subjects, I would organize inter-dynasty and inter-year quiz-type competitions about science, history, language, and maths. Yay! I'm immensely grateful for all the teachers that have helped me in and out of the classroom. If it wasn't for those teachers who recognize our potential, who inspired us to further develop our skills, I wouldn't be here today. As a result, I started a Maths Help Club for anybody who wants to get a little extra help. That's why I also want to initiate a policy of gratitude to the teachers who inspire us, to the staff who keep the school running, and to the janitors who keep the school clean. I was a dynasty representative for 3 whole years, so I know what it's like to sit on the student council, to gather ideas and put them in action. I'm very comfortable talking to teachers. Student voice is your voice. It's what you want to change and improve. Your voice matters. Your voice will be heard. Being a head student is like being an orchestra. It's not enough to play my part well. I listen to others carefully in order to play together. Only then are the results harmonious. I'll collaborate with the representatives, dynasty leaders, and other head students to make sure your dreams are materialized. I'm part of the student-led Creative Arts Committee, so I'm familiar with planning events like this year's Star Search. And as a youth leader on Year 7 camp, I dealt with the most chaotic situations. And I survived. I'm proud to have represented you at both international and national competitions. In the Hong Kong Individual Public Speaking and Debating Championships, I came 15th, so I'll definitely make assembly speeches exciting. But when it really comes down to it, I'm someone who wears leggings, hoodies, and sneakers most of the time. I'm a student just like you, and you, and you. So, I'm determined, ambitious, with the experience, skills, and character that it takes to be your head student. And that's why I'm running for head student. I'm super approachable, and I would never, ever, ever look down on you. After all, I am 5'3". Vote Zara for head student. A brighter future starts with your vote. Vote Zara for head student, because you can count on her, literally. Thank you.
Up next, we have Puru Pahuja. He says he's the guru.
Some of you know me as the founder of Coolcom Create, a venture scout, a leader in engineering club, or simply as a good friend. For others, I may be someone who you saw walking on the stairs that one time. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Puru Pahuja. I want to be your next head student because I'm genuinely passionate to lead and improve the school, as well as to inspire you to achieve your very best. I've gained a lot from WIS, and I'd like to give back through this role. I believe that a head student of the best school in Hong Kong is a confident, diligent, collaborative leader, and I strongly feel that I'm that true leader. My vast leadership experiences will allow me to not only guide you to greatness, but take you there. My practice in public speaking, from presenting in assemblies and acting in the volleyball, means that assemblies will be packed with captivating speeches. I've also gained exceptional collaboration skills and organizational skills from activities like hockey and engineering club, and I'm committed as shown by my involvement with the volleyball and scouts since Year 7. So you can trust me. I'll be there for you. Many people say I'm a smart kid, but after they hear some of my responses to some things, they kind of want to take back their words. For example, when I'm told to spice things up, I wonder if they want me to throw chili up in the air. So I do hear that I'm different, but I take great pride in that because my thought is one thing that makes me unique. And now I can approach problems creatively and find practical and unconventional solutions. So I'll listen to you and innovatively overcome the barriers to convert your dreams into reality. To strengthen your voice, I envision an online platform where you'll be able to post your ideas even during the middle of the night. This will be groundbreaking for increasing the power of your voice in our community. It will also allow you to access the head students directly and thus enhance the school in just a few clicks and some button pressing. If you don't keep up with the news, put your hands down. My idea to tackle this apparently pressing issue is a weekly news quiz, which will allow you to score dynasty points, thus encouraging you to read the news and ensuring that the school's mission statement, inspiring students to become responsible global citizens, is met, and also boosting dynasty spirit and school morale. More ideas include an indoor lunch area, a wisdom mobile app, and an inter-dynasty robotics competition. We could even have battle bots. I'll also listen to your ideas and get them realized, no matter how crazy they are. I vow that I'll do everything in my power to get your voice heard, your face seen, and your ideas developed. I won't just talk the talk, but walk the walk, act the act, and dance the dance. I can't promise escalators, free food, water slides, or helicopters instead of buses. Not saying it's impossible, touch wood. But if you give me a chance to be your next head student, I promise you that West Island School will become legend, wait for it, dairy. So vote for Puru because he's the guru. Thank you.
Thank you, Puru, for a fantastic speech. Next up, we have Alex Churchill. Electricity will bring a spark to West Island.
Can I ask you to just calm down a bit, please, and show a little bit more respect? Thank you.
My dear fellow students, teachers, and Ms. Foxcroft, today's assembly has been organized to showcase us, your prospective head students, for you to hear us speak, but I want to change this focus and make it about you. What do you want in a head student? What do you want me to do for you? I am Alex Churchill, and it is a privilege to have been nominated as your future head student. Some of you may know me as the governor's wife in the 2015 theatrical production of Caucasian Chalk Circle, or the girl wearing reindeer antlers at the refugee Christmas party I hosted, or as one of the dancers in the Chinese New Year assemblies. Yet, in addition to being an active participant in many of the facets of WIS life, I believe I also have the necessary qualities that you desire in a student leader. Positive, patient, and persistent. These are the 3 Ps that define my life philosophy. If I become the head student, I will spread my positive energy and help those of you who feel strain in any aspect of your schooling. I am a very approachable person, willing to listen to all your concerns, whether it be examination stress, bullying, or friendship issues. I intend to start a positive thinking club where we will use strategies to focus on positive thinking, peacefulness, and mindful awareness. At times, it may be hard for you to approach the well-meaning adults in your life. You may feel more comfortable talking to me, a student who has experienced and overcome a fair share of challenges for herself. I am here for you,
You talk, I listen, and we act together. Strength from diversity is one of our most important school principles. As a student from a diverse family background, I'm appreciative of being immersed in our multicultural school community. This year, as chief editor of the WIS Chinese Bilingual magazine, my editorial team and I strive to help us all evolve from modern-day students into globally and culturally aware citizens. Our main project is to design, edit, and publish a China-centered magazine incorporating both a Western and a Chinese perspective. We guarantee you the opportunity to express your creativity through writing, drawing, or photography so that you have a voice in the WIS community. This community I am wholeheartedly dedicated to. So I return to my question, what do you want in a student leader? Do you want someone you can rely on for moral support? Someone to help you deal with personal struggles? Someone to listen to your voices and convey your opinions to teachers, school committees, and the management team? If I may quote another Churchill, somewhat more famous than myself, courage is what it takes to stand up and speak. Courage is also what it takes to sit down and listen. I endeavor to have the courage to do both. Sit down and listen to you, and then stand up and speak on your behalf. I will go far and beyond to make your inner self brighter. Me, Alex. Alextricity will add a spark to your life. I will deliver more and promise less, because Churchills are known for positive effects. So vote Alex Churchill for head student.
Thank you, Alex. Next up, working for a better school, we have Patrick McCool.
Albus Dumbledore once said, "We are only as strong as we are united, as weak as we are divided." As a school, we need to unite to truly be able to claim West is best. Good morning, West Island. My name is Patrick McCool, and I hope to be one of your future head students. Every year for the past 5 years, I've sat where you're sitting now, listening to the 8 candidates up on the stage, presenting their great ideas. All of the changes I've seen in the school have been down to our voice. New changing rooms, dynasty bake sales, the Christmas market, these are just a few of the changes that we as a student body have brought to life. However, I don't think me getting up here and telling me what I want to do does justice to what it means to be a head student. The only thing I want is what you want. Shh. Do you hear that? Do you hear the student voice? No, because at the moment, it's just a faint murmur, when it should be a united shout. And this is something that really needs to change. Student voice should not just be heard from the head students and dynasty leaders. It shouldn't just be heard from people with authority. It should be heard from every single one of you. You deserve to be able to speak out. Throughout my time at West Island School, I've represented the school in all aspects of it. I've competed in the school's sailing and rowing teams, been head marshal of the Running to Stop the Traffic 24-hour race 2 years in a row, participated in local and international maths competitions, performed with 5 of Hong Kong's major theatre companies, as well as performing in multiple school productions. All of these experiences have led me to become a greater team player. I know that being a team player is what the head student needs to get your voices heard. For those of you who don't know me, I'm obsessed with creativity. My life practically revolves around the arts. And so it wouldn't be fitting for me to not want to build upon West Island's creativity. The recent Circle in the Water Festival was a huge success, thank you, Ms. Delgado, and I want to work with the Circle in the Water Committee on extending these events, having more creative events taking place throughout the school year. I also think that creative accomplishment should be celebrated and aim to highlight more of these achievements. I want to build a social media platform connected to the school's Facebook page where you can share your attainments with the wider school community. As a student leader on Year 8 Create, I saw firsthand the benefits of working creatively and collaboratively. I know how creativity can unite groups and build lasting friendships. This experience helped me to build my ability to be a good leader, leading by example and giving my 110% into my leadership, which involved me dressing up as a caterpillar and performing alongside a cast of Year 8s. As you can see, I'm not afraid to throw myself into uncomfortable and potentially embarrassing situations as a leader. Let's go into this united. Together, we can lead West Island to new strength. For a better school, vote McCool. Thank you.
She's committed to community. Next up, we have Shreya Rane.
Good morning, fellow students, teachers, and staff. My name is Shreya, and I am here today in the hope of becoming a head student. To me, the ideal community resembles a flock of migrating geese. Yes, you heard me right. Those winged creatures that sail swiftly through the skies in their characteristic V formation. Each goose plays an equally important role, shielding the bird behind it from the winds and squawking out words of encouragement to the bird in front. The goose at the tip of the V leads the way, heroically battling the winds until it flies to the back and another bird takes its place. In an ideal community, as modeled by geese, everyone can be a leader. Each member is equally as important as the next, and we are all stronger when united together. West Island, I have a vision that we can become this flock of geese. I'm not saying that we should suddenly grow feathers. Instead, we should embody their ideas of community. What we have right here in this hall today is a very unique community. With us, we have students and teachers and staff of all backgrounds and cultures, united by a sense of belonging and pride in this school. I have a vision to help strengthen this community by uniting our voices so that everyone is heard, by uniting different year groups together to bring us into that V formation. I will work to empower each and every voice here. To me, being a head student is not only about being a liaison, but more importantly, a friend. I am approachable, and I will listen to every suggestion you may have. I'll believe in them all, because an idea is an idea, no matter how small. If given the role, I will look to increase student voice and community spirit by developing and expanding the Head Student blog so that it is updated weekly. I will create an Ask the Head Student section on the blog for your questions and suggestions. A greater range of inter-year group events, such as a collaborative film project, also involving drama and music students of different year groups in a team, could help promote vertical integration in our community. Other ideas I have are to bring news headlines back in the form of a widget on Wisdom, to create a health and wellness blog to help alleviate issues such as sleep deprivation, and to create a section on the bulletin called Heroes of WIS, to showcase any acts of noble service or kindness in the WIS community. We can all inspire each other. As previous head student James Hoy said, leaders don't create more followers, they create more leaders. I wish to be the head student that leads and then inspires others to battle the winds. I have the motivation and the drive. As one of the captains of the cross-country team, I have been learning for the past 5 years about motivating others. I made so many new friends and learned about responsibility through the invaluable experiences I've had this year with Year 7s on Year 7 camp and in the Connections team. So, West Island. Given the opportunity, I will bring my vision, enthusiasm, and drive to this role, and together we will strive to put the unity in community. We will strive to be those geese that fly so gracefully to their goals. West Island, today is our day. The sky is waiting, so let's get on our way. Vote Shreya Rane, committed to community.
Last, but certainly not least, he'll keep it real. Please welcome Sanan Liu.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I stand before you today, humbled and honored to have this opportunity to address West Island School as a whole for the first time. As the last speaker today, I hope you will all take something away from my speech, whether it be inspiration for new ideas or new goals you want to achieve. Many of you will know me from various CAS activities and Horizons Week experiences over the years. If you haven't If you've taken part in a musical activity at West Island School, you'll probably know me, and you'll know what I'm talking about when I say that I hope my public speaking is better than my public singing. Others of you may know me as a volleyball coaching captain, a Kids for Kids leader, and a Year 7 camp leader. Whether listening to your ideas or music, I can always promise you that you'll have my full, undivided attention. To those of you who don't know me yet, my name is Sanan Liu, and I wish to be part of the next head student team. For a moment, I'd like you all to think back to the start of the New Year's. Most of you have probably made New Year's resolutions. From my list of resolutions, I've chosen 3 that I feel comfortable sharing with you today. The first one, learn how to use the Force. Why? Maybe I can use a Jedi mind trick to win your vote, but I don't think that's going to happen. Second of all, survive the IB diploma, difficult but achievable. And third and not least, become part of the new head student team. I'm here addressing all of you today, so in that sense, it is both realistic and achievable. And that's what I hope you all do this year. Set yourselves realistic and achievable goals. And to each and every one of you students sitting right here, I hope to help you reach those goals. Hopefully, some of your New Year's resolutions will include learning a new musical instrument or trying out a new sport or taking part in a new service activity you're curious about. What I hope I can help you with is learning outside the classroom through helping you follow all these amazing CAS opportunities and Horizons Week experiences more accessible to you. This year, with the help of the CAS Committee and the IT department, I'd like to introduce the CAS and Horizons Week Forum on Wisdom. This forum will be completely student-run and will act as a medium of information flow for all CAS activities and Horizons Week experiences, allowing online question and answer sessions and about all the opportunities there are to offer. It can also be a place to seek student volunteers or advertise events. There are endless possibilities for the use of this forum, and it will open up new forms of student leadership with a focus on digital leadership and initiative. Your ideas with the forum will form the roots of this forum, and I hope it will flourish and grow with your voices. With this new CAS and Horizons Week forum, I hope everyone can make more informed choices and make meaningful memories, experiences, and achievements. In my time here at West Island, the amount of student-led activities have at least doubled, and this really says a lot about the passion of our students in pursuing learning outside of the classroom. I can only hope that this forum will aid in this aspect, and your passions will continue to grow year by year. I'm a team player, and as an aspiring head student, one of my goals will be to try and make your ideas a reality. Whether it be more interdynasty events, renovating the swimming pool changing rooms, or more friendly academic competitions, I will be committing to making sure your ideas are heard. Great opportunities, great achievements. Great achievements are born from great opportunities, and I hope all of you will achieve great things this coming year. Set realistic and achievable goals and reach them. Learning outside the classroom or not, let me help you make it happen. We'll keep it real. Vote for Stan and Liu. Thank you.
Thank you very much, candidates. I'm sure you all appreciate how tough it is standing up here and addressing the entire school. Go away now, please, and reflect upon the content of the speeches. Thank you. Make sure you're making an individual choice on this and think about who you relate to the best. We will take your preferences into account. What you need to do now is look out for an email from Mr. Brown. He will be sending you a link to the online system where you will be able to cast a vote. We will leave that open until the end of lunchtime. Okay, that will be open until the end of lunchtime today, so you need to ensure that's done straight away at lunch. I think that's it. So what we need to happen now is to ensure that we get to period 4 on time. You are all going to have the honor and privilege of stacking the chairs. Can I ask you, as always, to please wait until you are dismissed by a member of the G&A team, and in that way we can be nice and organized as we leave assembly. Thank you for listening, West Island School. I hope you have a good day.